Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pete's Epic Golf Podcast. Join golfer Pete as he interviews international and local golf experts and enthusiasts. Golfer Pete's guests are looking to share how his audience can improve their golf game by improving their mindset, skill set, and gear set. We ask our experts to share their practical tips on golf in one or more of these three core areas. Golfer Pete created his podcast as a resource for anyone who loves golf. Join Golfer Pete as he asks the questions we all need answers to in order to improve our golf game.
Hey, welcome everybody. I want to welcome our foursome this morning and introduce you to some pretty powerful guys in the golf industry. So we're excited to have this foursome together. I'm your ranger or marshal. And so I have Sean Fox. I'm going to go left to right on my screen. Ryan Reid, Jeremy Daniell, is it? Jeremy? Okay. And David Windsor. So I'm just going to start with Sean. Introduce yourself and just give us a little bit about what you do and the kind of clients you service.
Yeah, so first of all, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Want to chat, appreciate the invite. So yeah, I'm a golf coach based I work out with Bridge Mill and Town Lake in Woodstock and Canton. So I'm originally from England. I moved here 4 years ago in March, so it's kind of flown by a little bit. But yeah, I'm more. So I do coaching programs for my guys. So all the guys I have assigned onto monthly coaching plans. I don't really do any one-off lessons. So because of that, I'm more interested in kind of long-term development, taking players from one level to the next, that kind of thing, not just your sort of quick fixes. So yeah, I kind of vary with who I work with. So I've got 2 or 3 kids who are sort of 15, 16, want to play college golf. I've got a couple of guys, one turned pro this year. I've got another guy who's planning on turning pro next year. And then I probably have 8 to 12 sort of competitive amateur players, I would say, who want to play state amateur stuff, some tournaments, a bit more serious. And then outside of that, I have some guys who are in business and who want to kind of learn and take clients on the golf course and stuff. So yeah, I kind of vary a little bit, but generally some more serious, some more tournament players. I do enjoy working with them. But yeah, as long as you have a good mindset and you're coachable, then I'll work with you. So
and the mindset is so important between those ears. Thank you there, Sean. Hey, Ryan, I'll see you a little bit later, but go ahead and introduce yourself to the listeners and give them a little bit about your background and who you help.
So my name is Ryan Reid. I'm a physical therapist. I own and operate a physical, spelled with a F-Y-Z-I-C-A-L. Our clinics are specialized. You can kind of get a little bit of a view of our clinic here. So my clinic is out in Marietta, Georgia. We have 3,600 square feet. I got some awesome turf. I have a body tracking. You can see the TV behind me as well. So I work with golfers, and I have a TPI certification to do some Titleist Performance Institute to do some evaluations for golfers. And really, as a physical therapist, you're working with golfers on all different levels. I've worked with as young as 4-year-olds to as old as an 87-year-old. And then obviously golf plays a big role in our profession, even from the business side, but also just with all the clients I see. I work with Sean too on some of his clients to ensure their physical performance. And I think, physical therapy and physical performance for golfers is vital to hopefully prevent injury, but also, for them to reach their maximal potential.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. Jeremy, how about yourself?
Yeah, thanks for having me, by the way.
Oh,
I'm the director of product marketing at PowerPlate. My background was strength and conditioning and sports medicine back in the day, looking at vibration research. So I've been around in the vibration kind of research side of things for about the past 14 years. And I've been with PowerPlate going on 4 years now. And my kind of goal is to bring solutions to businesses around North America that center around how PowerPlate can not just impact the end users and how it empowers their health and wellness, but how it actually makes a difference in the bottom line of their business to kind of create a bigger impact. on two sides of what they're trying to do.
Oh, that's awesome. I love mine. And David Windsor, could you please just let us know a little bit about yourself and who you serve?
Yeah, really appreciate being here and sharing what we do. I believe it ties in quite well with each of you. I know you'll all relate to a couple of these points here. But I'm a PGA of America member, and I've been involved with teaching adaptive golf, a little different approach to those that may be dealing with a physical, cognitive, or sensory challenge, as we refer to as. We in my world, we defray the term disabled. We may say, someone may be living with a disability, but in no way or form are they disabled, because we're going to use the game of golf, which is the most adaptable game or sport out there, to get them back on track. And so 22 years ago, I had a physical therapist walk into my golf shop in Sarasota, Florida, and bring a group that were, just like some of you are working with. They're in recovery, and they wanted to get their mojo back. And we use the game of golf as that conduit to do so. And that's developed, to so many forms of recovery, through the civilian population, the kids, all the way through to our veterans that have served and have been going through treatments through all the VA hospitals and military bases. So it's been a heck of a journey. It's been the most meaningful thing in my teaching career. And currently I'm with the Georgia State Golf Association. Been here since 2015 as their adaptive golf director. We started with one monthly program, and now I'm proud to say, through the support, the team, and all the efforts, we have 11 locations across Georgia. And we are consulting with other states and their golf associations to help replicate and get them to serve more and enhance more lives through the game of golf. So thank you.
It's awesome. I love what you guys do. And one of the guys at Shepherd was with me, Dr. Zane, and he's just gotten a passion for golf since he got out. And he's working with one of David's pros down there, Bobby Jones, and loving every minute of it. So it definitely makes a difference for people that, want to get outdoors and want to have something challenging to work on. All right. So let me just ask, let's go with Ryan first. So what's your philosophy like on golf, Ryan?
My personal philosophy?
Yeah. What do you think about it?
Well, I love just being outside. Someone said to me once, golf is like walking in a garden, with your best friends, having a good time.
Yeah.
So, I see it as more of a relaxing and joyful time to just be outside and, challenge yourself. I'm more of a team sport player. Played a little bit of collegiate basketball. I love the team atmosphere, working with others to help your strengths and weaknesses. But golf is all about, it exposes all your weaknesses, and even as an athlete as well. So as Sean can attest, I have a lot of weaknesses. And so I think, kind of the battling of yourself and the battling of your mind and your body is really something that has helped me grow, not just as a golfer, as a person, but also as a professional and in my physical therapy career as well. So I've come to love golf, especially over the past few years when everything else was shut down. The one thing that wasn't was golf courses. So that's where you got me every weekend. And so it's, become definitely a love of mine. And all of my brothers and my grandfathers and my father, they all play golf. And so it's a good time for us to get together as a family as well.
Oh, that's awesome. How about yourself, Sean? What's your philosophy on the game of golf?
Yeah, so for me personally, I'm a bit opposite to Ryan. So I played team sports. I played football from when I was 4 up until 19. Soccer, as I guess you would incorrectly call it here, but
I love it.
Yeah, and I struggled with the team element side of it because I felt like I wanted to win more than everybody else. So what attracted me to the golf aspect was it's all on me, right? So whether I play well or whether I play bad, that's my fault. So the accountability of myself was what really kind of attracted me to it. And then outside of that, for the juniors and stuff that we have, I just think there's so many life skills that you can learn from playing, whether it's meeting people, networking, the challenges, embracing adversity, the variability within the game and having to adapt and deal with it. I just think there's so many life skills that you can learn from playing the game. So that's something that really attracts as well. My granddad always used to say, if you want to get to know somebody, play golf with them. So that
I love that.
I
Yes.
always think back to that. So yeah, those are kind of the two things that sort of attracted me to it.
Have to hang a medal on your grandfather. That was good advice, because you couldn't ask for anything better. Jeremy, I don't even know. Are you an avid golfer? Because I didn't even ask you that when we've been talking a couple of times.
Much like Sean, I'm an avid footballer, or what me and him call football. So for me, my extent in golf is I'm a big fan of the golf cart. I'm a big fan of the beer cart, and I'm a big fan of hitting that little white ball as hard as I possibly can, regardless of where it actually ends up going.
Gotcha.
Outside of that, I am completely terrible at everything that centers around golf, but I like the kind of social aspects of being outside. I like enjoying being outside, so I love being the designated golf driver. I'm hands down the best at that. And digging for golf balls in the water trap when you hit it there with that little long telescoping arm. I found that to be quite cathartic.
I
Other
love
than that,
it.
I am complete and total garbage at golf.
Well, hey, it's a game you can always improve on. I don't care how good you are, there's always room for improvement. So that's good. Thank you, Jeremy.
Some of us more than others.
We'll have to
Now,
get him up to
David, I know,
Bridgeville.
gets out there a little bit if he's not traveling all over. David, what's your philosophy on golf?
Well, let's see. At this stage of the game, I believe everyone deserves some access to the sport. There's some areas where some might not feel that they're welcomed, and the game isn't accessible to them. I know that's a theme that's been on one of your burners, and we're going to elaborate more on at some point. But it's the game of a lifetime, and it's not that we're out to prove that, but we want everyone to know that the game awaits them in some form or fashion, that it is the most adaptable. So whatever your situation, may be, it could be a sitting situation, and they may never, envision themselves accessing a golf course. But we now have carts that are specially designed to do just that, is to help a seated player, access the golf course and every part of it. And so, and then that was proven with the excitement last year with the USGA announcing their first inaugural Adaptive Open. And they had 8 different divisions, one being the seated division, all the way through limb loss from either single limb or multi-limb, and so on. So that really opened up, a lot of people's eyes and ambitions. And now we're fielding all those inquiries of, hey, how can I get in and be a part of the game? And it's been such a transition sport from folks that have played other competitive, more rigorous activities, and who says golf isn't a contact sport and you can stay competitive, and but it's it's a little bit easier for them to get after. So just having an open door and having others on the team that are offering more access and inviting those players, that's the key right now.
I love it. I mean, when I was at Shepherd, my first outing, we went to Topgolf, and just getting outdoors and swinging and hitting, and yeah, they were holding you up and doing all the assistance, but just the fact you're smelling the outdoors and you're out there just trying to get that ball forward, and it was fun. All right,
at Topgolf, you're probably smelling the wings, and it's making you thirsty. And that's important too.
Yes, yeah, there's that social side you can't deny. That's the fun part of. And I think for a lot of my friends, younger ones, they like Topgolf because they can drink, eat, and just still swing the club and have a little competition while they're there. So I think it's done a pretty good job of bringing new people into the game. So let me go to advice, because I've got some pretty strong golf advocates here. So let's go ahead and start with you, David. So what's your best advice that you could give to our listeners?
Well, if anyone is currently seeing a physical therapist or anyone in that field, I mean, that's where I got my start. And so whether it be a participant, someone that is working through recovery, I mean, that's a great way to start, you know, and to talk to someone like Ryan about, hey, this is, if they haven't already, and I know probably I would say a majority of them gravitate to the game or have an interest if they haven't before. And that's a great way to start, you know, with the right movement over muscle, the right, exercises to get them back. And then for any other, I could say, golf professionals that are watching, that's also a great way to start, is to partner, ask a physical therapist to come to one of his lessons or visit a PT and see what they're doing. And I mean, that is the ultimate team right there, you know, to get started.
Yeah, it's, you hear when they win on the tour, they thank their team, and it is an individual sport, but it is a team concept of you can't do it alone. So there's a lot of people out there that make up the team. Thank you there, David. All right, how about we'll go to Jeremy. Best golf advice that you've ever received?
I guess it would be the one that I promote for pretty much everything. It's warm up and learn your fundamentals. Stop doing things just because you want to get better rapidly. Learn things slowly, progress appropriately, and stop trying to get yourself hurt by skipping the warm up.
Yeah, that's so important. To my detriment, I would come in hot, meaning I'd come in about 5 minutes before I tee up, and being busy, I didn't think of warm-ups as being important, but man, it is important. So Ryan, how about yourself? Best golf advice?
I think the best golf advice, I would probably leans even with the best life advice as well. There's Jocko Willis. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He always preaches discipline equals freedom.
Yep.
And I think that is key, especially to golf. I mean, you look at all the professional golfers that have been successful, they're always disciplined. And if you want to be the best athlete you can be, you need to be disciplined. And I tell all my young athletes, especially the young, rambunctious boys who are running all over the place, chasing this, chasing that. I'm like, if you want to be the best, you have to be disciplined. If you want to get into the school you want to get into, if you want to be on the team you want to be on, you have to be disciplined. And you can get there, but discipline will give you the freedom to be able to pick your team, to be able to pick your school. And the same way with any other sport, especially golf.
Man, that's awesome advice. Thank you. Sean, how about yourself?
Yeah, so I think two
Best
things
advice you've ever received?
Yeah, so two things would spring to mind. This is kind of what I've tried to do with my clients, I guess. So the first thing I would say is let's have a plan. Okay, so I just see so many people who are just, I call it the hamster wheel, right? They just try one thing and it doesn't work, and then another thing and it doesn't work, and they just keep going around in a circle. So, if I get somebody new come in, we'll do an assessment. Where's their strengths, weaknesses? What's their goals? How do we make a plan to work towards that? And that might take some time, right? There's no such thing as a quick fix or an overnight success.
Yep.
So, but let's keep sticking to the plan. And then the second thing, similar to what Ryan said, is the theme I've noticed is I think accountability is key for people who are successful. So my job is to lay out a plan for them, explain the areas they need to improve, and then try and keep them accountable to that, right? So, and just know that if they're not, then, they can't come and complain that they haven't had their success, because if you're not doing the work, then you can't expect for it to happen. So, yeah, I would say, have some sort of a plan, whether that be I go see a PT and they help my body, or, a chiropractor, whatever. This is what I do with my game. This is how I warm up. Just let's put some plans in place, and then let's be accountable towards that, really.
Oh, that's so, man, I love that. I was down at Shepherd where I spent 39 days and got a new wheelchair. And so I was telling the girls, I went over to see them, and I said, they were asking, how I've progressed and things like that. And I said, golf and shepherd were my two foundations, because golf does give you the discipline, and it gets just like, you're playing out there, and in the rehab market, it falls on your shoulders. Yeah, you do need therapists, you do need people to help you, but if you're not out there motivated and wanting to get better, then it's not going to happen. And the guy that didn't make it on the show, but David knows him, Dr. Zane. One day he said, I don't want to use this piece of equipment because it was bothering him. And I said, I'll take your spot, because, it's just like, you want to get better, and golf definitely prepares you to have that mindset. All right, let's shift to something a little bit more fun. So the best person you've ever played, or most, what is it? The most famous golfer you've ever played with. How about, let's start with Sean, and we'll go around, go to the right.
Man, put me on.
I know. Did we get these questions beforehand?
Hey, just like golf, you got to think on your feet. It's not like we get the advanced playbook with us.
Yeah. Who's the best I've ever played with?
Well, let's just say somebody our viewers would be able to relate to. It doesn't have to be best, because that's a kind of objective. Just maybe the most popular or most prominent golfer you've ever played with.
Or how about what most popular golfers we would love to have a chance to play with?
Yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah.
You can do that one, or who you played with. I like that, David. Thank you.
Well, I got a picture of Hogan on my wall. He's one of my heroes, so he would be my guy I'd like to have played with. So yeah, I'd like to pick his brain. He was a bit ahead of his time, I think. So I'm
wow, that would be a good brain to pick.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you think of anybody else, like being who's Luke Donnell, I think he's from your parts, I think.
Yeah, I haven't played with him. So
Okay.
I guess some of the guys who play in our section, most people might not know them, but we have a lot of good players. Bill Murchison, who's actually technically he's the director of instruction in the academy I worked.
Yeah.
He played on the Corn Ferry Tour for a number of years. He qualified for the PGA Championship in 2012 when Rory won at Kiowa. He was ranked top 1,000 in the world at one point. Tim Weinhart, Sonny Skinner, Greg Stevens, all of these guys have played in multiple majors, senior majors. So playing with those guys is cool. Paul Claxton, he's another one. He was the first guy on what is now the Corn Ferry Tour, but used to be the Nationwide Tour, to make $1 million. So yeah, getting to play with those guys is pretty fun. You learn a lot from them. And
oh, totally. I know. I recognize a few of those names.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Yeah, getting close to some of those guys.
Well, I know Ryan, he's probably played with some headliners. How about you, Ryan?
0 headliners.
Okay.
It should be me, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
John carried me in a charity scramble one time, so
that counts. That counts, because hey, when you win, did you win it?
We got 3rd place.
Okay.
We'll blame the other 2 guys. No, I'm just kidding. I was dragging us down. I would love to play with John Daly because his idea of you can pull a muscle but you can't pull fat. I really want to put that to the test. Let's see how accurate that is. And he just seems like a good guy too, so really laid back.
Yeah,
so
I'd agree with you. How about Jeremy? Is there anybody in your sights, or do you have anybody that you've teed it up with?
I've only played golf twice, both of which were with my father-in-law. So unless you count him being famous, no. He's probably a better attorney than he is golfer. As far as playing with, I don't know. I probably want to go Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Mostly because I'm biased, because his trainer does a lot of work for us.
Oh, really? Is that right?
He's made my life easier in a lot of ways. Sean Cochran.
I like Phil. He's never lost for words. That's awesome. David, how about yourself?
Yeah, so the most iconic a player that most would know. They follow the NHL would be years ago. I played a few rounds of golf with NHL Hall of Famer Stan Mikita, number 21 out of the Chicago Blackhawks. He was a resident of where we were at Innisbrook Resort in down in Palm Harbor, Florida, and really enjoyed it. I have some other stories that go into some of our antics out on the golf course. That was a real treat. And I guess in the modern day, if I had to choose, I'd go with Rory McIlroy. It'd be great to tee it up with him sometime.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Let's go to like golf gear or accessories. What's the best golf gear or accessory that you like personally and that you could recommend or share with our listeners? Sean, I'll start with you.
So I guess this is something that I've touched on and I want to learn a bit more on, but the shoes that you wear, I'm kind of Blake, who I work alongside, we were chatting a bit before we started, has the force plates, learning a little bit about how the footwear that you use can have an impact on how you use the ground and how your feet are moving, how your ankle works, that kind of thing. So I kind of wear old traditional FootJoy classics, kind of very stable. So, but yeah, I think I don't know enough about it. I'm trying to learn a bit more about it, but knowing that,
Yeah.
you know, the footwear that you use and how that can impact you. So I think that's quite important.
No, I think that, you know, the feet are obviously important to how what we do. So that would be cool. How about yourself, Ryan?
Yeah, even to kind of go off what Sean said, I changed my shoes when I got an avulsion fracture on my ankle from playing basketball. So my shoes normally have a pretty tight grip to this ground surface, and so I went with a shoe with a lot less grip, so that I wasn't planting and twisting as much on my ankle, which hopefully helped at least the recovery of my ankle. For me, I would say it's something as simple as a mat or even just like a TheraBand to really make sure that you get warmed up before you play. I think there's, you know, a lot of us want to look cool, or we want to look like we know what we're doing on the golf course, even if you're not a professional golfer. But all the professional golfers warm up extensively, and they do a good job of exercising before they play and making sure their muscles are ready for the peak performance. Especially if you want to be like Jeremy and hit the long ball, hitting 350 yards, you want to make sure that you're warmed up and you're not going out there cold, swinging for the fences and get hurt. So, yeah.
Thank you. That's good. All right, Jeremy, we'll allow you to say power plate if that's definitely your best gear. I know it's been my favorite. I love it. Okay, go ahead, Jeremy.
I mean, I guess I'm biased since before my time here that power plate would probably be one of my top choices, but actually thinking a little smaller with the massage gun. I just think just the ability to use that anywhere across the course as you tighten up or you want to loosen up first. You can just take it with you in your golf bag through the whole, and you know, all 18 holes, and just have it with you in case you need it or want it or both.
Yeah, that's awesome. David, how about yourself?
Yes, thank you. Well, in the arena of adaptive golf that I'm in, the one, you know, golf company that has stepped up, and they've done it for a number of years to go over and beyond different adaptations for individuals, because there's such a wide spectrum, as I touched on earlier, where someone may be in a chair and playing from a solar ride or another car, and there's all these different angles and whatnot. And it then you have the one-arm golfers. You have just folks that need different you know, devices or shaft flexes and grip size. And then we have those with even bilateral limb loss that we recently did a conference with, and we have a strap that will go around someone's shoulder, and we have a device that fits right into their prosthesis now and goes directly into the golf club. And it's something that we're going to be showcasing at the PGA show in Orlando here in just another month. And that just goes back to the Ping Golf Company. And they have had a Ping fitting bag for a number of years, in which we've been able to explore so many options for our players and get them, you know, the best clubs, you know, to play their best. And so kudos to them and their engineering team, Dr. Paul Wood. Now he has another engineer with him, and we're making some great strides. And I know there's been some other companies that have embraced adaptive golf, and it's been wonderful to see. They're the folks that we go to when we have some extreme, cases that we want to get someone on the golf course and have them play their best.
Well, it's so important. I know just personally with Dr. Zane, we were talking about his needs, and he has a place in Hilton Head. So he was saying, man, we got to get a golf cart down at a course down there. So when he goes down there, he can play, and he doesn't have to wait till he gets back to Bobby Jones. So yeah, it's so important that people, especially in the therapy and recovery, that they gravitate to something they enjoy, and they can do it regardless of their limitations. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, we're going to close with a fun question. Best golf course you've ever played? Okay, let's go with Ryan. Why don't you lead us?
The best golf course, probably the best one I could think of is the North Druid, or the Druid Hills Club here in Atlanta.
Mhm.
Probably because that's the best I've ever played.
Yeah, that's
So,
a good one.
when you drive
What
the
was
green
your
on a
lowest
couple-
round?
What's my lowest round? Shot 81.
Okay, awesome.
So, which is okay. But I had to see Sean a few times before I got there. So
Hey, that's what golf is about, is getting that team, getting that help. How about yourself, Sean? Best golf course, favorite? It can be favorite, either one.
Yeah, so I just got back at 10:30, 11 o'clock last night. We were in Sea Island on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So the Seaside Golf Course at Sea Island Golf Club. Probably my
Awesome.
favorite. Aesthetic,
Yeah, I've heard
layout, the test. Yeah, they have the RSM. We have a tournament now section there every year in December, and it's 3 weeks after they play the RSM there, which is the tour event. So the course is be pristine. But yeah, just the whole place, the food, the vibe, everything's amazing. It was 75 degrees as well, which was nice because I came back.
Oh man, wow.
So yeah, that was a fun couple of days.
That's awesome. David, how about yourself?
Well, I've had an opportunity to play quite a few, and I guess to relate to the fellas here local, and seeing that we're sort of the Atlanta, Georgia crew, I really have to lean on the Peachtree Golf Club here in Atlanta. It's been referred to as the Augusta National of Atlanta, as a special history with, the great Bobby Jones, approaching a few key investors to begin that golf course back in the day. So if you ever get an opportunity to play it, don't pass it by. Get out there and enjoy that property at Peachtree.
Yeah, I've just heard wonderful things about it from friends that have played it. Yeah, it sounds like a classic. All right, let's finish up. Describe your best round you've ever played. Hold it. Let me go to Jeremy on the golf course. Is there a golf course that that stood out that you liked?
Oh yeah, I mean, private clubs are probably our second largest industry, so we're constantly doing work with them. I would say my favorite that I've been on was the courses at Admirals Cove down in was it West Palm, Florida?
Yeah, very nice.
Oh, good. And David knows about them. Okay, awesome. All right, so let's go to that best round. There's nothing better when you're in the zone. So give our listeners your best round and describe a little bit about that round. Let's start with Sean.
Best round. I'm trying to think. So there's been a couple. I guess one stands out, which was earlier this year. I think I shot 32 on the back and 35 of the last 8 or 6 of the last 8. So people talk about being in the zone a lot. I think that was as close to I probably felt as that. So it was kind of a weird feeling of time went slow and less thought, and it was like just hit target. And yeah, I'll choose this sentence very carefully because I know that golf's the hardest game in the world, but it almost felt easy for a very, very small period of time. So
Well,
trying to figure out how to get back to that, but yeah, that was pretty fun.
That's I've been listening to Dr. Saul Miller on the mental side of golf, and he talks about that the round that you get in the zone, and it's usually your leisure. Like people just, it didn't happen. It happened, and they were just going out there playing a fun day, having a good time, and then it just kicked in, and everything was falling. So yeah, I think that's there's a lot to be said with just having some fun out there. How about yourself, David? Describe your best round and give us a little insight into it.
Well, I will say it was years ago. It was at my home course, right? The course that you play over and over. You play it in your sleep, and so it was really right out of college, and I was back in my hometown in upstate New York, and it was a Seneca Lake Country Club, where a lot of blood, sweat, and tears left there on that property. But yeah, so it was a natural, just kind of moving around one day, and I think there was maybe a few wagers out there. But when you're in the zone, you're playing a little bit every day, and your wedges were on fire. So when you hit them that close, and it wasn't a very long course, it played about 6,500 yards. So getting them that close, there were a lot of gimme putts, and 66 was my lowest round. Didn't see that again for a long time. But I will have to say that I was involved with a night golf event. And as soon as it hit pitch black, we teed it up. It was individual. And I had a 3-hole birdie run with a glow ball, and that just leave it from there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that had to be
3 birdies with a glow ball.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you got to love that. Watching that thing go in the cup, that had to be fun. Yeah. So let's go. Give us a little bit. How can people connect with you? And we'll put them in the show notes too, but give us a little idea. Let me go to Jeremy. I jumped over you on the favorite course and your favorite round.
I shot 2 under par on a mini golf course in Pensacola. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, I had a hole-in-one on a par 3 course. I still claim it as a hole-in-one. So I don't necessarily tell people it's a par 3, but I let them know it's a hole-in-one. Oh, that's awesome.
Mini golf still counts, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. It's called golf. So it doesn't matter if there's a mini or a perfect or whatever before that round. All right. So we'll close with give our viewers an idea how they can connect with you. Sean, go ahead and you start, and then we'll go down. I think Ryan had to jump. He went to me. He might have had a client come in his facility. All right, Sean.
Yeah, so if you just Google Sean Fox Golf, all my stuff will come up. So I have my own Instagram page, I have my own website. Georgia Golf Performance is the business that I actually coach at, but I try and do some stuff on Instagram. I should post a little bit more, but I just don't have time. But yeah, you can Instagram on my website, has my email, contact number. Generally, if people are interested, I'll always set up an initial kind of phone consultation, just ask some questions around what they're looking for and see whether we'd be a good fit or not. But yeah, email, contact number, Instagram is pretty much the best way to get a hold of me.
Okay, we'll also put all that in the show notes, so they can definitely get a hold of you. How about Jeremy?
Yeah, so the easiest way is probably direct by email.
Okay.
Which is my first name dot last name at PowerPlate, which you can put in the show notes as well.
Okay. Awesome. We'll definitely do that. David, how about yourself?
Yeah, like Sean said, Google can be your friend. And but if not, you can use DuckDuckGo. And but if you do Google, my name, David Windsor, PGA, it should populate our Georgia State Golf Association webpage, and that lists all of our programs statewide. And again, they're complimentary program to those in recovery. And been blessed to have a stellar team. I have a lead coach at each of those programs with trained volunteers and mentors to assist those with similar characteristics. So the game awaits you here in the state of Georgia.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I love what you're doing. And Ryan, I think, is gone, so we'll put his information in the show notes. And I actually I'm going to see him at 4 o'clock today, so I'll get some firsthand golf PT. But I've been going to his clinic, which he has another wonderful person at that clinic that helps him. All righty. Hey, guys, I want to thank you so much for being a guest on the podcast. We'll have it live in a couple weeks. And thank you so much for taking the time to share your experiences, your knowledge, and your love of the game with our viewers. All righty. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Let me see.
Hit them straight, everyone.
Yeah, let's see.